The Indian Army's Pinaka multi-barrel rocket artillery, Air Force's Akash air defense system, 90 155mm A-tags artillery guns, the Zen anti-drone system, and Swathi weapon locating radars. Armenia has bought an arsenal of Indian defense tech and equipment. The small landlocked country in the Caucasus has found a friend in India, even as tensions persist with neighbors like Azerbaijan backed by Turkey, with the threat of the next Armenia-Azerbaijan war always a real possibility. Now, New Delhi and Yerevan are set to forge an even deeper alliance, with the state visit by the Armenian foreign minister to New Delhi, where he held talks with Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Apart from defense, the focus now is on strengthening trade ties as well as historical cultural bonds between these two ancient civilizations. So what makes the friendship between the two countries special in today's volatile world? Is it decades of treaties or centuries of shared tales? For India and Armenia, the answer is something even more profound. It's an unbreakable bond created in the corridors of history, culture, and trust. Armenian Foreign Minister Ararat Mirzoyan's standing in the Indian Council of World Affairs in New Delhi wasn't merely discussing policy. He was spinning a tale of two countries entwined far deeper than their contemporary identities. Ararat Mirzoyan stated, quote, "India was among the very first countries to acknowledge Armenia's independence in 1991. 4 years later, we sealed this relationship with a treaty of friendship and cooperation. But let's not kid ourselves. Our bond is older than any treaty. It's rooted in centuries of shared experiences." Unquote. Mirzoyan talked of Armenian traders who traveled to India centuries back, taking with them not merely commerce, but customs, architecture, and morals. This is not a political handshake. It's a reunion of cousins. Today, friendship is no longer merely about heritage. It's about a common future. Armenia is turning eastward, not merely for commerce, but for security, technology, and innovation. And India has jumped in big time, emerging as one of the most reliable defense partners of Armenia. In just the last couple of years, Armenia has entered into huge defense deals with India, procuring cutting-edge arms, artillery, and radar equipment. This isn't merely a question of military might, it's one of faith. Faith that India will remain Armenia's friend in times of need, just as it has done for centuries. In March 2020, India secured a $40 million deal to supply Armenia with 4 Swathi weapon locating radars, developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization and manufactured by Bharat Electronics Limited. These special radars detect enemy artillery fire and pinpoint their location up to 50 kilometers away. A huge impetus to India's defense exports was provided in September 2022 when Armenia purchased $245 to $260 million worth of Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launchers, anti-tank rockets, and other ammunition. The base version of the Indian Pinaka system, which can fire up to 12 rockets in just 44 seconds up to a range of 40 kilometers, was exported for the first time. Now Pinaka's range has been upgraded to 75 kilometers, while tests will be held this year for a 120-kilometer range version. In December 2022, Armenia ordered 15 Akash air defense missile systems for $720 million, the first foreign customer for this Indian air defense shield manufactured by Bharat Dynamics Limited. With an interception capacity and range of 25 kilometers, Akash greatly strengthens Armenia's air defense, especially against aerial attacks, and especially by Azeri Baykar drones procured from Turkey, as well as the JF-17 fighter jets procured from Pakistan. The deliveries of these weapon systems for Armenia's defense not only enhances Indian arms exports, but also improves India's strategic footprint in Eurasia. Armenia has become a key Indian ally in the larger Mediterranean region, along with the likes of Israel as well as Greece. Armenia has also emerged as India's first export customer for the Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System, or ATAGS, in 2023. Designed by DRDO and private collaborators, the 155mm howitzer was contracted in a deal worth $155 million for 90 ATAGS systems. The initial 6 were handed over to Armenia in August 2023, with an additional 84 to follow, bolstering Armenia's mobile artillery strength. Armenia's acquisition is based on shoot and scoot principle after the lesson learned during the defeat in the Nagorno-Karabakh war back in 2020. Armenia also acquired India's Zen anti-drone system in November 2023 for a $41 million deal to combat Azerbaijan's drone dominance thanks to Turkey. Now, the Zen system can detect and neutralize drones through jamming or confrontation. Zen Technologies is also interested to open an office in Armenia, stressing the extent of bilateral defense cooperation. In September 2024, negotiations started for India to also upgrade Armenia's Sukhoi 30 fighter jets with modern air-to-surface missiles such as the Indian-made Astra missile. By early 2024-25, Armenia's defense acquisitions from India crossed the $600 million mark, with estimates placing the total value closer to $2 billion since 2020. In fact, India has now replaced Russia as Armenia's largest defense provider, a serious geopolitical realignment in the region. Armenia's defense shifts towards India is in keeping with its desire to cut dependence on Russia, particularly in the wake of the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. The alliance also helps the government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to counter the anti-India axis of Turkey, Pakistan and Azerbaijan. Additionally, Armenia has supported India on key issues such as Kashmir. For India, these agreements add to its highest yearly defense exports of $2.6 billion in 2023-24. Armenia, together with the United States of America and France, are currently the leading purchasers of Indian defense tech. The aim is now to reach the $6 billion mark by 2028-29. So should India further strengthen its alliance with Armenia? The 12th edition of the exercise Khanjar between India's special forces and Kyrgyzstan has begun in Tokmok, Kyrgyzstan. From the 10th of March to 23rd, the high-intensity exercise improves military cooperation with an emphasis on counter-terrorism, urban warfare and precision sniping under the UN mandate. India's Parachute Regiment and Kyrgyzstan's Scorpion Brigade will undergo training on various terrains ranging from cities to mountains of high elevation. Aside from Khanjar, India's special forces continue to remain active worldwide, engaging in grand drills such as Desert Hunt 2025 and Winged Raider. As India plans to boost its Armed Forces Special Operations Division, these joint exercises ensure regional security and military synergy. The Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL, is preparing to launch its Light Utility Helicopter, or LUH, in India's civilian aviation sector. The firm has made a start on seeking type certification from Directorate General of Civil Aviation, with flight testing set to commence by mid-2026. Developed initially for defense purposes, the LUH is now going to compete with Airbus H125, which will start production in India soon through Tata Airbus collaboration. Having a higher maximum takeoff weight and higher payload, the LUH provides a competitive advantage, accommodating 2 pilots as well as 6 passengers. If the LUH succeeds, it can revolutionize civilian air mobility in India, shaking off foreign hegemony with an indigenous option. Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.